Adishima Adechina Adesani na chese yetse ensefofro ewo yeman Ghana na enede ide okopiem ewo joy news bia na chese enya asemketo akra ewo ho yankasa yeni tia communicator for NPP amayeku no miracle Dennis Abuaje ena chese ono ene joy news presenter Sampson na aye boot for boot ewo ho ni na ene se yankasa yeni tia yamame Chief Justice Tokono and someone chese circulate ewo social media say finally John Dramani Mahama say we yini efrisuno na eno ena chese miracle Abuaje chese was schooling Sampson ewo some constitution was say it seems say amount for bi wo ha omofra omo lawyers na emu constitution ankasa it seems omo ready babariana na omo kwatena school dem na omo we onim se okọ keyetia law school se okọ makola de ne mpodi a eno de omo enhye nim na ukopiem ewo comment section ne dia na chese guy bi chese Melko Abuaje ewase wotumi eko law school na obe schooling amanfo bi na omo chese omo ye lawyers phone ebusia state ni yentie enkomo twetwe se de esiko ni bi emba.
There's a process to remove a Chief Justice, which you've gone through it with me. There's a process to remove a judge of the Supreme Court. It is only fair that and proper that you take the basis and whatever ruling, whatever evidence here, and take it through the process of removing a Supreme Court judge. And that is what I think the lady is looking for. Basically, at this point, what we are doing is that we are saying that because we found you guilty on one thing, automatically you won't qualify for this. But here we are, and we are all clear in our minds that the person is saying, I wasn't even given a fair trial through this committee. So if she goes through the process of removal of a Supreme Court judge, she may adduce further evidence to, clear herself for certain things that have been made against her. But to say that because the processes of a removal of a Chief Justice have been seen through, and for that reason she has been removed, automatically she ceases to be a judge, is to say that if a judge is found guilty on a crime, automatically that judge ceases to be a judge. When the Constitution or the law itself has given a process that you should take a judge through before they are removed.
Have you tried to look at what the difference is about the procedure for removing a Superior Court judge and the procedure for removing a Chief Justice?
The simplest, one of the basic differences I've realized is that if you're going to remove a Supreme Court judge, the Chief Justice handles that, right?
What do you mean by handles that?
It goes to the Chief Justice. Now, if you look at the committee,
it goes to the President.
Of course, and the Chief Justice.
The petition will go to the President. The President will send it to the Chief Justice.
Yes.
Then the Chief Justice will determine whether there's a case to answer or not.
In this case, the committee, actually the membership of the committee, as to whether they have the jurisdiction to remove a judge of a Supreme Court, is another question. So the fact that the membership of that committee, of course, the membership of that committee, do they have proper jurisdiction to remove a judge of the Supreme Court?
Or the committee?
No, the committee. The committee
that was set up.
That committee has jurisdiction over determining the fate of a Chief Justice. But do they have the jurisdiction over determining the fate of a Supreme Court judge? If they don't, then all you have to do is take whatever it is that they have done, which is now evidence of whatever crime the Chief Justice may have caused, and take her through the process of removing her as a Supreme Court judge and allow her to defend herself.
Okay,
that is the law.
So the Constitution says, I'm coming. The Constitution says, as a Supreme Court judge, or as a Superior Court judge, or as a judge, the only time you may be removed is that you have been found on these grounds, stated misbehavior, incompetence, or inability to perform the functions of your office arising from infirmity of body or mind. Are you saying that if, in this case, having been found guilty of stated misbehavior over financial impropriety, over attempt to appoint extra Supreme Court judges, etc., it can only remove you as a Chief Justice, but not as a Supreme Court judge, regardless that the verdict is that you have been found guilty of stated misbehavior.
That is why I said that. The 1462 is clear. It says that may only be removed by the procedure.
That's so 1461.
No, 2. I'm referring to 1462.
Okay.
Yes, I'm referring to 1462. May be removed
in accordance
by the procedure. And if you may, I can even read it. It's 146.
A justice of the Superior Court of Judicature or a chairman of a regional tribunal may
only be removed in accordance with the procedure specified in this article. The procedures are not the same. The procedures for removing the Chief Justice is not the same as the procedure for removing a judge of the Superior Court.
And the only difference, as you have indicated, first and foremost, is that...
Like, I think that is primary. That, for example, on this committee were 2 other Superior Court judges. When you are removing a Chief Justice, would these 2 other Superior Court judges be there? Would Domelevo be there?
Okay, so let's look at it. If you are removing a Superior Court judge, clause 4, where the Chief Justice decides that there is a prima facie case, he shall set up a committee comprising of 3 justices of the Supreme Court or chairman of the regional tribunals or both.
Which one are you reading, please?
Clause 4.
Okay.
1464. Appointed by the Judicial Council and 2 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers, and who shall be appointed by the Chief Justice on the advice of the Council of State.
Yes.
So the first difference is that to remove a justice of the Superior Court, Chief Justice will make a prima facie case.
Yes.
And after that, the Chief Justice, together with the Judicial Council, will appoint the members who will form the panel. Then clause 6, where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the President, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. So the appointment of the committee to do the process is done by the President with the Council of State.
For Chief Justice
and
removal.
prima facie is also done by the President with the Council
Chief
of
Justice
State.
removal.
This is the difference.
For Chief Justice removal.
That's right.
But for the removal of a judge of the Supreme Court, a committee should be set up by the Chief Justice, not the President.
With the Judicial Council.
Yes, not the President.
Right.
Secondly, I made a fundamental point, and I think that's what we should all use our mind to. Let's say I'm a Supreme Court judge, and then I'm found to be beating my wife. And so my wife takes me to Dofsu, and Dofsu takes me through all processes, and I'm found to be domestic violence. It doesn't automatically disarm me from being a judge of the Supreme Court.
That's correct.
But somebody can, based on that ruling, now petition the Chief Justice and say, this judge is a woman,
the President.
The President, and say, this judge is a woman beater. I don't know why you allow a woman beater to sit as a judge in this country. The President may now write to the Chief Justice. When the Chief Justice receives that petition, he will check whether me beating my wife, for whatever reason,
It's stated misbehavior.
and it even affects or impairs my ability to be a judge. If he establishes that, then he will set up a committee for me to come and defend myself. Now that committee's evidence against me will be that ruling against me being a woman beater.
That's right.
I have to prove to that committee that the fact that I beat my wife in the past doesn't mean that necessarily I cannot execute my function as a judge. You may disagree with this, but this is the law.
The standard is that you are a person of high moral character and proven integrity.
But the law says that she may only. So there is only one procedure. You cannot imply any other procedure.
Okay.
So you may have a very solid ground for thinking that she cannot be a judge. But the law says that you cannot use that procedure of removing a Chief Justice, which is for the 6.
Okay.
To remove a judge, which is for
let me ask you this, and I move on to Roxanne. Hold on.
So what I think anybody should do, now is to simply, like they did for this one, get one of their guys again to write a petition against a woman and take it to the President.
Okay.
Then the President will refer it to the Chief Justice. Then the Chief Justice say, Madam, you know you are no longer the Chief Justice, but people are saying you can no longer be a judge. According to the Constitution 1464, come and defend yourself.
Please.
Then the Chief Justice will form a committee.
So the new Chief Justice.
Yes,
Okay.
because that is the only way you can remove a judge of the Supreme Court.
Please.
You cannot use 6 to remove.
So
4.
that at her time, there should be a petition sent to her to make a prima facie on herself.
No. The Chief Justice has now been removed. That is established. He's now been removed.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying that he's been removed as the Chief Justice.
Hold on. Don't worry. Allow him.
He's been removed as a Chief Justice, which was a function.
Okay.